The day you found out you were going to be on the show, how'd the conversation go with your wife? What was that moment like where you said, I'm in?
We're all in a room. My whole youth group, my whole church is up in my youth room. There's like 300 or 400 people in this room, and it's like, phone call comes over, and it's like, sounds like Jillian Michaels, and she's like, it's Jillian Michaels, Sean, you made The Biggest Loser. And I screamed, everybody in the room erupted and screamed. It's all on tape. It's like the most amazing moment. I cried. I turned to my wife and put my head in her shoulder, and I was like, this is crazy. And then at that point, I think I was crying because I knew I was going to be hurting very, very.
What's the food you miss the most?
There's not one food that I don't eat that I miss from before. And I haven't visited a fast food joint, since this whole thing happened.
If you could jump off of a high dive into a swimming pool filled with a food item, what would it be?
It would be a swimming pool filled with Dr. Pepper.
What is the most dangerous thing in our diets in America today that most people don't know about?
It's basically just sugar or anything seriously processed. When you eat a lot of processed, bleached starches, flours, different things like that, you basically contribute to killing your body one bite at a time.
Yeah.
And all the sugar that we put in our bodies. JR, I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes on The Biggest Loser. I didn't know I had type 2 diabetes until I went to the show, and the doctor said, you said you don't have any health problems. I said, yeah, I don't have any health problems. I don't have type 2 diabetes. He's like, you're wrong. You have type 2 diabetes right now.
Huh.
Dude, it was a shot in the face. I mean, it was like somebody took a baseball bat and hit me across the side of the face, and I was like, you know what? No more of this.
Response from your youth group.
They have been amazing, and they see the value of this platform. 12.5 million people watch The Biggest Loser. From those 12.5 million, a lot of people change their lives from it. They change the way they eat and how they exercise and that kind of thing. Now, obviously, I'm not trying to be the biggest fitness and health nut on the planet. I do want to stress, mind, body, and spirit.
Right.
Those three things work together. Well, my teams have jumped all over this. They're all over. They're like, when are we going to run together? When are we? And it's really cool to see them kind of take off and really love this. And they tell their friends like I'm The Biggest Loser. He's my youth pastor.
Right.
And I mean, I tell everybody, I'm like, tell them I'm your youth pastor. I don't care, even if I'm not your youth pastor. Just I'm America's youth pastor.
Tell them you're a postman too.
That's right. When I go to Walmart, that people they know I'm a youth pastor and they watch the show, so they feel like they already know me.
Yeah.
And I'll be buying something for my son, like I had to buy Oreos for his preschool class, and I grabbed these Oreos in the store, and the lady was like, "Oh, it's so nice to meet you. Oh, you don't want to eat that?" Yes, I do. And I'm not even going to eat this. This is for my son. They just talk to me like that, but. Not only that, they confess things. They know I'm a youth pastor, so they're like, "Oh, Pastor Sean, I haven't been in church for three months, and
Father Sean."
And I'm sitting there in the checkout line at the, I'm like, "Have you seen the latest edition here of Life and Style magazine? It's crazy. I can't believe Angelina's having 2 babies with Dr. Mom." And it's like,
go and sin no more, Carol. Now give me my change.
Exactly. And I'm like, okay, I'm not a priest. But I thank you for confessing. This is a good step in the right direction. Please find a counselor.
Right. Last one. One thing that you can do now that you couldn't do before that makes you most thrilled about.
But man, it's just walking. I mean, I can walk an infinite number of hours at this point. I have ran and completed a full marathon, 26.2 miles in 6 hours and 54 minutes.
Nice.
And not only can I walk and not be out of breath, man, I can run a full marathon. And before, when we were on tour, man, I would fall asleep at the drop of a hat, dude. I was constantly tired all the time. Do you ever remember coming into the production office?
Yeah, we used to make fun of you a little bit secretly. So
I know.
I confess right now to you.
I love you still because I know it's true. It's one of those things where it's like everything about my life has changed completely, physically, spiritually, mentally. It's not about being the most fanatical, the fastest guy, the longest distance guy. Those are great things, but it's about being in balance. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Jesus was all about balance, and that's what I want to be. I want to be about balance.
You got a website you can toss us to?
www.workonme.com, and the idea behind that is that I help you by working on me.
The Joy FM, helping you find joy with JR in the afternoon.